intensity but low impact workout. So we'll at least have one foot on the ground at all times, and we're really minimizing the jumping and the cardio aspect of working out. We're really focusing on small movements that really get our muscles going and contracting to work on muscle tone and muscle strength. So we will start with a warm-up, stretch out a little bit before, get into the warm-up, really get our muscles moving. Then we'll move into arms, thighs, glutes, and we'll finish with core. So what you'll need for the workout is a bar. I know a lot of people do not have a bar, it's not very accessible, so a chair, a table, a ping pong table is also perfectly fine as well. I know over the summer when I do bar, I use a chair, and I know a lot of my family members use chairs, so that is totally okay. You also want to grab a mat or be on carpet of some sort, just for a softer surface for moves that we do on the ground, and also so you're not sliding or anything. And then you can have a light set of weights. It's not necessary at all. I'm not going to be using weights, but if you really want to add an extra challenge, you definitely can grab weights. So we will go ahead and get started. We're going to start about hip distance parallel, feet facing straight forward, and we're just slowly going to have our hands on our hips. We're just going to lift one knee up at a time. So we're having a bent knee lift here, pointing our toes as we lift our leg up, really flexing at the hip flexor, trying to maintain a long, elongated spine, not hunching forward, also not arching backwards. Try and maintain neutral spine, lifting up, pointing those toes. You can bring your hands up behind your head. We'll add a torso twist here, so bring your elbow to your opposite knee. However, let's not crunch in too much. Let's try and just maintain a slight torso twist here, not worrying if you're touching your knee or not, but just getting that twist in your core, activating those core muscles, waking all those muscles up. Again, take some time to stretch a little bit before this to wake your muscles up even more. It may be early. You don't want to just throw yourself into it. Again, still pointing your toes. We'll bring our feet to a stance again in 3, 2, let's bring those feet to a stance. Let's squat here. Squatting here, trying to keep our knees behind our toes and behind our ankles, making sure they're both in alignment. So we don't want our knees pointing outwards, we want to keep them pointing straight forwards in the same direction that our toes are pointing in. Add in those arms by bringing your hands up above your head as you go down and pulling them in as you stand up. Squeezing your glutes at the top and at the bottom, picking up the pace for an extra challenge. Up and down, up and down, up. We're gonna pulse here in 3, 2, find low squat here, let's pulse. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, stand up, back to regular squatting. With those arms, up, back down. Grab something, pull it back down. Squatting here for 5, 4, 3, 2, find that low squat. Let's hold here again. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, bring those arms up above your head, straighten your legs. Let's shoot down, find a ragdoll, reach for those toes, maybe walk your legs out, stretching your hamstrings, maybe rotating from side to side, finding that lower back stretch. Let's widen our legs a little bit, widen our stance. Let's come down into a frog squat pose. So our elbows are going to be pushing our knees outwards, getting an inner thigh stretch here. Focusing on this stretch for now before we move into a bit of strength. So holding this, maybe rotating back and forth. And then we're gonna come up into a frog squat. So leaving those elbows where they are and raising those glutes. This is gonna be a booty lift or frog squat, either one, whichever you know it by. Slowly lowering and lifting. Here's a front view and then another side view would be here. So just lifting and lowering back down. Breathing here, embracing that burn, knowing you're getting stronger here. Really warming up those muscles. We'll pulse upwards in 3, 2, let's hold this upwards and pulse. Pulsing our glutes up into the air for 3, 2, back to full range. Full range of motion, we've got one more. From here, let's plant our hands on the ground and kick our feet back or step our feet back, finding plank. holding this plank position, grounding down here, pressing your palms, pressing your fingers into the ground, onto your mat, onto the carpet, whatever you're on. Modification is coming down to those knees. So still holding a plank position on the knees, however, your spine is long and elongated. You're not hunching backwards, your glutes are not sticking up. You're also not arching your back, having your glutes sink down. Really trying to maintain a neutral spine here. Squeezing those glutes as you do so, squeezing your core here. Holding and finding that comfort in this pose. Grounding in. Breathing. Continue to breathe in and out. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's walk those hands back towards our feet. We're gonna move into a series of inchworms here, walking our hands back towards our feet, coming up, reaching up to the sky, diving back down, walking our hands back out to plank position. Holding plank here for 3, 2, and then again, walking back. Trying to keep those glutes stable as you walk forward and backward, squeezing, trying not to bend and tilt too much. Really squeezing your core here, taking these at your own pace, holding in plank for a couple seconds, and then walking back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your core here. Modification, you would be still in your plank on your knees, walking back to your knees, coming up to your knees, and then coming back down, finding that same plank position. Whichever is most comfortable for you, this is your workout. You make the decisions here, challenge yourself, but also respect your body. We've got a couple more inchworms here, holding this plank. Let's walk back up for one more. And we'll hold plank when we get back down there. Let's hold plank here. You've got this. Breathing through, squeezing those glutes, making sure our whole body is in a neutral position, not arching or flexing too much in one area. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's drop those knees to the ground. Shooting our glutes back, finding child's pose, widening your legs a little bit, sinking in here, dropping your head in between your hands, maybe rotating your arms over to the right side, and then sliding them over again to the left side for that side body stretch. Breathing, continuing to breathe. When you're ready, we'll come back up to our plank position. We're gonna come all the way flat to the ground, however, keeping our palms at our sides where they would be if we were in a plank. We're gonna move into a series of tricep push-ups here. So you'll be completely on your stomach. Feet, the tops of your feet are flat on the ground, and we're going to lift and lower back down. Lift up and lower back down. So my legs are staying on the ground the whole time, actually. I know it seems kind of weird, and it might seem kind of easy in the beginning, but really squeezing your triceps is gonna focus on that muscle group here and give you that burn that you're looking for. So pushing up and coming back down. Pushing up, trying to use those triceps and lowering back down. The slow and controlled movement is crucial here to activate your muscles. The whole time too, we're not just going up, we're going up and we're going back down. You should be using your muscles the whole time. Lifting up, breathing, lowering back down. Lifting up and lowering back down. I know my arms are burning, keep it up. We've got a couple more here. We're gonna hold halfway and pulse here. So hold halfway, pulsing. Holding and pulsing. You've got this for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's come down flat to the ground. Shake our arms out if we need to. Getting ready to move into our second set. So we're going to find that position again, having our palms and our fingers flat on the ground. Pressing into the ground, pushing your body away from the ground, coming up and lowering back down. Breathing here. Trying just to focus on those tricep muscles. Continuing to breathe. We're on our second set here. You've got this. Couple more. We'll hold halfway again in a couple seconds. 3, 2, let's hold that halfway. Holding here without the pulse, just hold in this stationary pose. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, let's lower to the ground. Shake those arms out. Getting ready for our last set here. Breathing, finding that position again with our palms planted into the ground. Again, we're going to lift, pushing away from the ground, and then lower. Lifting and lowering. Breathing both ways, focusing on that muscle group both ways too. Not letting momentum carry you back down, but really focusing on that control. Pushing yourself here, challenge yourself here. You can do a couple more, you've got this. We're gonna hold halfway in 5, 4, 3, 2, let's hold that halfway. Stationary here, holding it here. You've got this. 10, 9, 8, keep it up, keep pushing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, coming back into child's pose. Finding that child's pose, letting those arms rest. I know they're burning. Sitting up, maybe grabbing your right arm, pulling it across your side body. Again, doing the same thing with your left arm. Pausing it if you need to take a little extra break, a little extra stretch, whatever's comfortable with you. All right, so we're gonna come back onto our stomachs actually for a little bit longer to focus on a different muscle group in our arms. We're gonna come down into Superman. So we've got our Superman banana core exercise. We're just gonna stay in Superman. So laying flat on the ground, my torso is planted into the ground. However, my arms and my legs are both coming up off the ground. Modification would be not lifting as much, so maybe keeping your upper legs on the ground and just lifting your lower legs off the ground. Really challenging yourself by lifting those knees and those parts of that upper leg off the ground. So we're holding here in this position, arms out in front of us, kind of like Superman flying through the sky. We're holding here, and we're slowly going to straighten our arms and pull them back into goalpost position. Straightening them, sending them out, hovering above the ground, and then pulling them back. Taking this at your own pace, squeezing as you go. Squeezing your glutes, but also really focusing on your arms here, squeezing those arms. Breathing. Again, modification by dropping those upper legs. Again, still really using your core here to keep that torso pressed into the ground. Arms up above your head and bringing them back down to goalpost. We'll keep those arms straight out in front of us in 3, 2, let's pull those arms out in front of us. Let's pulse up and down. Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Not touching the ground, trying to maintain that strength, that hold, keeping pulsing here. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's bring those arms back into goalpost. Again, shooting them back up above our head. Returning back to the motion that we were doing before. Front view would be here. Continue up with this. This is activating our core muscles too, getting into our shoulders as well. We're gonna pulse again in 3, 2, hold those arms out in front of you, pulsing again here. Up and down, little by little, not touching the ground. You've got this. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's come back into child's pose. Stretching out our back, stretching out our legs. We'll sit down back on our knees. We're gonna grab our right arm and elbow, putting it behind our back, reaching down our spine to stretch the back of our upper arms and our triceps. Switching hands when you're ready. Holding here. We're gonna do one more thing on the floor here, and we're gonna focus on our sides for a little bit. So we're gonna come onto our right forearm. it's more comfortable for you to be on your right hand, that's also perfectly fine. Our right knee is going to be on the ground, and our left leg is going to be straight and planted on the ground as well. So it's kind of like a modified side plank here. So we're holding this modified side plank position on our right side. Again, knee can be on the ground. If you really want to challenge, you can have a normal side plank position here, holding. However, so we're going to have this knee here. We're going to dip our hip down to the ground, return it back to the top, crunching our left knee and our left elbow in, and returning it back. So we're going to alternate here between a hip dip and a crunch. Hip dip and a crunch. Taking this at your own pace here. I know this is a challenging movement, especially because we're combining two movements. So really taking it at your own pace, doing whatever your body is comfortable with. Sometimes it's easier for me to lower onto my forearm and then crunch in. Making sure you're really squeezing your core the whole time, especially with this crunch. Making sure your core is doing the work when you're crunching in. Don't let momentum or your leg do all the work. Use that core. Couple more here. We're gonna hold our side plank stationary in 3, 2, hold that side plank here. Holding, pushing yourself. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Good job. We're gonna rotate onto that left side, so switch, I'll do a side view again. So we're switching onto our left side, planting our right hand or our left hand or our left forearm into the ground. Coming on to our left knee, having our right knee straight out this time. Again, we're going to dip our left hip towards the ground, return it back, crunching our right elbow and our right knee in towards each other. Lowering, lifting, crunching. Alternating here. Again, taking this at your own pace. Trying to focus on the muscle control, really squeezing your core as you crunch in, and then using your side body to lower and lift. Pushing through here. We'll hold our side plank in 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold that side plank here. You've got this. Feeling it in that side body. Squeeze those core muscles in. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Done. Taking it down. Coming onto those knees, grabbing our right hand, pulling it over to the left side. Getting a side body stretch, and then grabbing our left arm with our right hand, pulling it over to the right side, getting the opposite side body stretch. All right, so let's find our chair, our bar, grab a drink, do whatever you need, take a little stretch break, pause the workout, and return when you're ready. We'll be at the bar. So the bar here is not to lean all your weight into. We don't want to put our strength onto the bar. It's solely for balance and helping us through our exercises. So most often we'll have a hand, maybe 2 hands just lightly pressed on the bar or the chair or the table. Let's really not try and put our full weight into the bar for our own sake and for the bar's sake. So we're gonna start facing the bar. So face the bar, lightly place both hands down on the bar. You can also take them off for an extra challenge if you know you really want to work on your balance and whatnot. But we'll start here on the bar. Legs are hip distance parallel, toes are pointing straight forward. So toes are also facing the bar, facing the chair, facing the table. We're just going to lower and lift. Squatting here, lowering and lifting. Making sure those knees, ankles, and toes are all in alignment. So we're directing our knees in the same direction as our toes. We don't want our knees to be going too far in or pointing too far out. Trying to keep it all in alignment. And we're squeezing our glutes at the top and we're squeezing our glutes again at the bottom. Activating those glute muscles, taking it as slow and controlled as you feel you need. Speeding it up if you want an extra challenge, but still focusing on that muscle squeeze. You can bring those hands off the bar if that's what feels more comfortable for you. Either having them above your head, out to your side, keeping them on the bar. I'm kind of rotating mine, so I'm having them on the bar when I lower and I'm bringing them down to my side when I stand up. We've got 3, 2, let's hold and pulse here. So holding a low squat here, making sure our knees are in alignment, and we're gonna pulse up and down, using our bar here for balance. Using our bar so we can really dig into those glutes and get that strength working, that burn. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, standing up, taking a little, shaking our legs out a little bit. We're going to face, so pick one direction to face at this moment, and then when we hit the other side, we'll switch to the other direction. So I'm gonna have my right hand on the bar at the moment. Gonna open out, right hand is lightly placed on the bar. Feet are a little bit further than hip distance parallel and toes are angled outward slightly. So we're going to go into a sumo squat. Sumo squat, still squeezing our glutes, still working on that flexing and extending of our knee, and still focusing on keeping our knees and toes in alignment. So now that our toes are pointing slightly outward, our knees are going to point slightly outward. Lowering and lifting, using our bar for help and squeezing those glutes. Taking these at your own pace here. Squeeze those glutes. We'll transition into a series here of a sumo squat and a lunge. So we'll sumo squat, we'll rotate, and we'll lunge. We'll sumo squat, rotate, and lunge. So we're alternating between a sumo squat and then a lunge. When we lunge, both hands turn and are on the bar. Taking this again at your own pace, taking it slow as a modification, coming all the way up, turning, then lowering into your squat. For an extra challenge, we're lowering and turning together. Really focusing on that burn here. You've got this. We've got 4, 3, 2, hold that sumo squat here. Holding it here, squeeze. I know it burns, you've got this. Holding it low, let's lift that left foot up, the left heel up, so we're keeping our toe on the ground. We're breathing here, and we're gonna pulse, pulse, pulse. Heel is up off the ground for an extra challenge. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's rotate back into that lunge here, coming down to a low lunge, extending up. Low lunge, extending up. We've got a couple here before we pulse. We've got 3, 2. Finding that low lunge, let's pulse here. Breathing through. You've got this. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Back to full extension lunge. So fully straightening those legs and then coming back down. Keeping the same position with your feet, however. We're not moving one foot forwards or backwards. We're simply just lowering and lifting. Making sure our knee isn't going in front of our ankle or our toe. We're really maintaining that alignment here so we're not injuring our knees. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold low one more time. You've got this. Holding low for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Standing up, coming up to that bar, taking our left leg, resting our foot on our right thigh, making sure you're not putting it on your knee. We don't want to hurt your knee here. Sinking into a figure 4 stretch to stretch that glute out. Maybe finding some motion, finding stability, whatever works for your body. Really getting into that back glute here. And then we will switch sides. So imagine my left hand is on the bar this time. So we're switching legs when we do our lunge series. The left hand is on the bar. I would be facing backwards and I don't want to do that. I might to show a couple exercises, but for now I'll just pretend. So my left hand is on the bar now. Again, I'm in a sumo squat position, so my feet are slightly past hip distance parallel. My feet are angled outwards. And as I squat, my knees are going to be pointing in the same direction as my toes. We're starting with a basic sumo squat here, lowering and lifting, squeezing those glutes at the top and at the bottom. Taking at your own pace, squeezing, and feeling your strength. Knowing that you're strong enough to do this. We've got our second side here, and then we're done with this thigh series. You have got this. Lowering and lifting. Again, we're going to move into our alternating series with a lunge and a sumo squat. So we'll sumo squat, we'll rotate to our other side now, and we'll lunge. Sumo squat, lunge. Sumo squat, lunge. If I was using the bar, it'd be like this. Sumo squat, lunge. Again, modifying by taking our sumo squat, coming all the way up, then rotating our feet, lunging, coming all the way up, then rotating our feet. For the extra challenge, sumo squatting, maintaining that low hold, and then rotating. Doing what's right for your body, while also challenging yourself. We've got 4, 3, 2, let's find that lunge position here. Finding that lunge position, we're gonna hold here in this lunge. Up and down. Lowering and lifting in this lunge position, keeping our feet where they are, only bending and extending our knees, making sure that our knee is not overflexing, going over our toes, making sure it maintains alignment, keeping that long and elongated spine, keeping that core tight. We're lowering and we're lifting. We're lowering and we're lifting. We're gonna hold low in 3, 2, hold that low lunge here, let's pulse. Pulse, pulse. You got this. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, back to full extension. Still lunging here. You've got this. Pushing through that burn. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold low. Holding low here, pulsing. You've got this. Push through. Feel that burn. Know you're getting stronger. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's rotate back to our sumo squat. I know I forgot to add this. Back to our sumo squat. Left hand is on the bar here. Holding here in a low position. Lifting that right heel up off the ground, still in this low position, squeezing our glutes, tucking our core, holding here and pulsing. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, done. Now bringing that right leg, right foot onto our left thigh, sinking in here, figure 4 stretch, getting into the glute, finding stability, finding motion, whatever is comfortable for you. Pausing the workout, taking extra time to stretch your hamstrings if needed. Maybe finding a butterfly pose, doing whatever is comfortable with you. We're going to be moving into glutes now. Actually, this is going to be a pretty low bar workout, so we're not going to use the bar for this. We're going to actually go back onto the ground. So if you didn't have a bar today, it's totally fine, or a chair or whatever you're using. We're going to go and find tabletop position, so our knees are on the ground. Palms are planted, really in a square-like position, trying to keep our spine elongated. We don't want to be arching too much. We also don't want to be hunched back. Maintain that long spine, really squeezing in that core here. Holding in this position. We're going to start with our right leg, so let's lift our right leg back behind us. Just lowering and lifting. Lowering and lifting. Trying to keep those hips both facing the ground, not leaning totally to one side or the other side. Try and holding them balanced as we lower and lift. Toe might tap the ground, lift it right back up after. Lowering and lifting. Squeezing both glutes here. You've got this, pushing through. Okay, as we move into our glute series, we're going to actually go back to the ground, so you won't need your bar for the rest of the class. We'll come down to the ground, finding tabletop position, so we're on our knees, planting our hands onto the ground, finding that tabletop, square, flat position. You should be able to, someone should be able to eat a meal on your back, have a plate there. We don't want it too arched, we also don't want it too hunched. Finding that neutral position. Here, grounding your palms into the ground. We're gonna start with our right leg, so let's bring our right leg straight back, lifting it up straight behind us. Side view here. And we're just gonna lower and lift as we squeeze. Try and make sure those hips stay balanced. We don't want to lean entirely to one side or the other. Let's keep them balanced and neutral. Lowering and lifting, squeezing those glutes, taking these at your own pace yet again. Squeezing here. Warming up those glute muscles, you've got this. Lowering and lifting. Lowering. We're gonna angle our right leg outwards just a little bit. So as we lift it up, let's bring it slightly more towards the right side of our body. Again, still lowering and lifting at an angle this time. So from the front, you should be able to see my leg out to the side just a little bit. As before, it was straight behind me. Now it's a little bit angled out to the side. Still keeping that same range of motion, lowering and lifting. Breathing, continuing to breathe. We're gonna hold that leg up, angled behind us again. In 3, 2, let's hold that leg out, still keeping that angle. We're gonna bend at the knee and straighten at the knee. Bend and straighten, keeping that hip lifted, keeping those hips balanced. Breathing here, bending and extending. Taking these at your own pace, really focusing on that squeeze, focusing on that glute burn. We've got this. We're gonna hold our legs straight out. In 3, 2, hold that leg straight out. We're gonna pulse it outwards, just slightly. Slightly more towards the right side of your body. Pulsing, squeezing and pulsing. About 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's bring it back straight behind us. It is still lifted up, and we're gonna go back to tapping the ground and raising it back up. Slowly lowering and lifting directly behind us. So you can't see my foot right now, but it is lowering and lifting directly behind me. Breathing. We're gonna hold it back up in 3, 2, holding it up straight behind you. Again, we're gonna bend at the knee, straighten at the knee. Really squeeze those glutes here, bend and straighten. Bend and straighten, pointing your toe. Squeezing your glutes. I'm sure your left glute might be starting to burn a little bit. You've got this, push through. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring that glute in. Let's come down onto our back. We're just gonna focus on our right side for now. So coming down onto our back, we're gonna move into a single leg glute bridge. So come down, lay on your back, and then lift those glutes up off the ground. Feet are planted on the ground, both at the moment. When you're ready, we're going to lift our left leg off the ground, so we're just balancing on our right leg. Again, we don't want to dip to one side or the other. We really want to keep alignment with those hips, making sure that they're straight, and honestly, we could place a plate right on our torso right now as well. Keeping that back still straight, really engaging your core here, holding with just this right leg. You've got this. Breathe here. We're gonna pulse up and down in 3, 2, let's pulse down and up and down. Slightly lowering and lifting, just using that right leg, straightening your knee, your left knee if that feels comfortable. You can also leave it bent. I know I feel more comfortable when it's bent. We're just lowering and lifting. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold this glute bridge here for a couple more seconds. You've got this. We've got 8, 7, 6. Squeeze those glutes. 4, 3, 2. Lower down to the ground. Coming back up to tabletop position. Moving on to our left side. Running tabletop, making sure our back, again, we could put a plate on it and someone could eat a meal off of our back. And then we're gonna lift our left leg straight back behind us. Not angled yet, so holding it here, lowering and lifting. Maybe tapping the ground slightly with your toe. Modification would be placing it down on the ground and then lifting it back up. Taking a little break in between each lower and lift. Again, making sure our hips are both facing the ground. We're using our glutes here to lower and lift. Continue to breathe. Embrace that burn. Know you're getting stronger here. Lowering and lifting. Let's angle that leg outward a little bit, so bringing it a little bit more towards our left side, and we're continuing to lower and lift. Angle here, focusing more on those outer glutes. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Squeezing at the top, squeezing at the bottom. We'll hold our leg up straight back behind us at the angle still. Angled but straight back. In 3, 2, holding it here. Keeping that angle, we're gonna bend and straighten at the knee. Keeping our hip extended, just bending at our knee and extending it back out. Breathing here. Embracing that burn, feeling it in those glutes. You are getting stronger. You are capable of doing this. We got 3, 2, extend out behind you. Again, lowering and lifting at this ankle. You've got this. Breathe, taking at your own pace, modifying as needed. Slowly we'll rotate our leg back towards the center, so it's now straight behind us, or directly behind us, and we're continuing to lower and lift. You probably cannot see mine right now, but I'm lowering and lifting directly behind me. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, keep that leg extended behind you. Again, we're bending and flexing at the knee. This time it's not angled, it's directly behind you. Bending and extending. Squeezing your glutes here, pointing those toes. We've got 4, 3, 2. Let's hold our leg back. Keeping it extended, just holding it here. You've got this. Push for 5, 4, 3, 2. Bringing our leg down. Coming onto our backs. Really pressing our back into the ground, planting both feet, coming up into a glute bridge to start. And then when you feel grounded, we'll lift our right leg up off the ground this time. Holding here, a left leg glute bridge. Feeling that burn, feeling that activation, holding it here. Breathing, continuing to breathe, breaking as you need, challenging yourself. We'll lower and lift. So we're gonna lower down, lifting back up. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Taking these at your own pace, modifying by maybe lifting your leg up again at the bottom and then coming back up. Respecting your body here, lowering and lifting. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Let's find our mat, coming down straight onto our back for a full body stretch. So sending those legs out in front of you, coming flat onto your back, laying down on the ground, pressing our low back into the ground. We're slowly gonna roll up. We're gonna do a vertebrae roll up here, coming up to touch our toes, and then slowly rolling it back down onto the ground, one vertebrae at a time. Lowering and lifting. Breathing through here, pushing yourself, really using that core to lower and lift you. Try not to let momentum pull you back down to the ground, but control your movement, going as slow as you can. own pace, lowering and lifting. Next time you come up, we'll find that seated position, lifting our feet up off the ground, coming into high bow. Lifting those feet up, coming into that balanced high bow. Hands can be out to your side. Holding it here. We're going to alternate between low boat and high boat. So this is high boat, and this will be our low boat. This is high boat, so let's chill here in high boat for a couple seconds before we go into our low core burner in low boat. Let's move to low boat in 3, 2, let's hold that low boat here. Really embracing that core, pressing that low back down to the ground. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, coming into high boat. Coming back up into high boat and then coming right back down to low boat. You've got this. We've got 3, 2, high boat, holding this high boat here, returning to low boat. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, coming to high boat really quickly, returning back to that low boat. 3, 2, high boat, holding this high boat here. You've got this. High boat here, taking this quick little breather, returning to low boat in 3, 2, finding that low boat. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, coming back up to high boat. Holding this high boat here, bringing your hands to center, rotating to the right side, and then rotating to the left side. Modification here would be planting those feet down on the ground. We're moving into a Russian twist, tapping our right side, coming through the middle, tapping our left side. Again, trying to solely use our core muscles here to maintain that strength, that elongated spine. Embracing that core, continuing with these Russian twist movements. Got 3, 2, coming back down onto your back, slowly lowering. Let's lift those feet up. So we're gonna do like a legs up the wall type thing. Lifting our feet up, almost like you're balancing them on a wall. I cannot straighten my legs, but imagine them to be straight. We're slowly just gonna lower one and then lower the other. So alternating leg lifts here. Lowering our right leg to the ground, returning it to the top, and then lowering our left leg to the ground. Modification, putting those hands under your glutes. Also bending your knees a little bit more, tapping the ground with your knees bent is also modification. Lowering and lifting. Pressing your low back into the ground, squeezing your core. Alternating these leg lifts here. This is our last exercise of the day. You've got this, push yourself. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those feet down to the ground, shooting them straight out in front of you. Laying flat on your back, reaching your arms high above your head. Full body stretch here. Taking a breather, thanking yourself for showing up, thanking yourself for being present the whole workout, thanking your body for guiding you through this workout. Let's bring our right leg in towards our chest, grabbing it with our hands, getting a little stretch, finding movement maybe. And then bringing it across your body to your left side, teeing your arms out, and then face or turn your head to the right side. So our head is facing to the right, our right knee is pointing to the left side of the room. Really getting that side body stretch here in the lower back as well. Let's roll back to the middle, grabbing our right leg again, pulling it back in towards our chest. Bringing our left knee in with it into a happy baby almost. Kind of rocking out here with both knees in a tuck position. And then shooting our right leg out this time, holding our left knee in. Finding movement if needed. Really getting that stretch and then sending your right knee or your left knee across your body. Finding that side body, lower back stretch. Looking towards the left side of the room this time. Arms teed out. Sink into this stretch here. Let your body relax. Come back towards the middle again, grabbing that left leg, holding it here in this tucked position. When you're ready, slowly rolling up, we'll find butterfly. Bottoms of the feet are pressed together using your hands to pull you closer in to get a deeper stretch. Bringing your heels in closer to your body will also help with a deeper stretch. Taking this at your own pace, pausing if you want to spend a little extra time at one stretch. Maybe rocking back and forth a little bit here. Bringing our left leg in towards our body, shooting our right leg out in front of us, reaching for those right toes, getting that hamstring stretched back in the knee. Sometimes I like to bend and straighten my knee as I'm doing this to really get that extra stretch. A little bit of a dynamic stretch. And then bringing that right leg in as we send our left leg out, grabbing those left toes. Again, still breathing here, deep breaths. When you're ready, we'll come up to stance. Legs hip distance parallel, grabbing our right ankle, finding a quad stretch, trying to keep both of our knees in towards each other, not letting our heel come out to the side, more so keeping it right by that glute. I know my hips are tight, my quads are tight. This is a good one. And then placing that back down on the ground, kind of coming into like a lunge position, and we'll drop that left knee, or that right knee, sorry, to the ground to get a hip flexor stretch. So coming forward almost into like a runner's lunge. Finding movement if you need to. Sometimes it feels better to really just rock back and forth in the stretch, getting different muscles. And then we'll switch and we'll come do that same stretch on the left side. Breathing here, cooling it down. Should feel that right in here, like right along your hip, your hip flexor. And then coming up when you're ready, grabbing our left ankle, pulling it behind for a quad stretch. Again, trying to bring our knees in as close together as possible, not letting our heels shoot out to the side, more so keeping it back behind our glutes. We'll plant that left foot when you're ready. Bring those arms up above your head, breathing in. Exhaling, coming down, finding ragdoll, getting that lower back, those hamstrings. Side body stretch by rotating from side to side. Slowly rising up one vertebrae at a time. Good job, everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stretch the rest of the day. Really respect your body today. If you go for a walk later, that'll help get the blood pumping, the muscles loosened up. Thank you. I hope you have a great day.